MayesBoy 91 here, and I'm recording this at 11:30 at night because I want to say something about this. Now, if you've been to the video game news, obviously Sony has said that they're going to stop disc production in 2028. Everybody knows that. And that got me thinking, what if there is a modern video game crash? I know I've mentioned it numerous times in our podcast, and I'm going to make some predictions, just maybe a theory about this. It's a game theory. No, I'm kidding. But what if this actually happened? Sony getting rid of discs. Everybody else is going to follow suit if they all get away with it. I don't know. Sony doesn't really go against what they do because I know there's a lot of people on Facebook that I've read that are canceling their PlayStation subscriptions and they're saying they're not going to buy the PS6. They don't really go back on what they say, so more than likely they are going to go through with the no disc thing. So what if there was a video game crash? First and foremost, consoles are going to be very expensive. I know because of the tariffs and everything. I understand that. I think there's going to be a lot of people who don't want to buy a $1,200 or $1,500 console that has nowhere near the functions of a PC. So a lot of people are just going to just end up going to PC, even with RAM going up. So these consoles are just going to sit on the shelves. And just like what happened back in the day with the Atari and Coleco systems in them, nobody wants to trust these consoles. You spend $80 on a game, heck, maybe even 90 at that point if it's going to be all digital. Why do these companies have to finish the game on day one? Because there's been a lot of games that didn't come out finished. And people bought them day one and they were burned. Why isn't this game finished? Why is this game broken? The physical discs of those, you can trade them in. You can sell them. If it's an all digital future, you're kind of screwed. So nobody's going to trust these manufacturers for these companies making these games and these systems. So these systems will just stay on the shelves. These big box companies will have to discount these consoles, liquidate them, and get rid of them to put new stock on the shelves. What are the companies going to do? You know, these companies are like, man, we're really trying to sell these systems not at a loss, or at a significant loss, apparently, what they say. So now what do we do? Can you imagine that? Nobody's buying game consoles. Maybe phones will go up more in price, or maybe these video game companies will start releasing more games on cell phones. Because 9 times out of 10, somebody has a cell phone in their pocket. And yeah, they're releasing games on phones now, but hey, if nobody's buying consoles, let's try to throw some games onto a cell phone for the Google Play and Apple markets. Maybe. Or all these other retro companies like Evercade and companies who have done these retro mini consoles, maybe those will start popping up more. Evercade, for example, they have physical cartridges with collections of retro games on them, so maybe more of those kind of companies will pop up. And are they going to be AAA games? No, but it would be something. Now, obviously, I'm not saying this is going to happen within the year. Heck, it might not even happen in 3 years. But if this did happen, there's going to be a huge change in video games and consoles. And I really hope it doesn't happen, that big famous video game companies will go under. And I really don't want to see that because there's a lot of developers I truly love. But with prices going up and still going up, future's looking bleak. Especially now that Sony, they're starting the no disc thing. Not yet, but they're going to be starting it, and everybody's going to follow suit. But what do you think? Do you think a video game apocalypse is going to happen? Do you think the crash is going to happen in the future? Let me know. I'm MayesBoy91. Hope you enjoy the short video. And I'll have more videos coming on down the line, and the boys and I will be doing the podcast here soon. So y'all have a good one.